Hi, everybody, and welcome into the Cougar Sports Network as we get ready for the 33rd Annual Cougar Holiday Classic, the 2023 edition. I'm Matt Robinson. Happy to have you along here for game number one of a two-game set today between College of the Canyons and LA Trade Tech College. For the Cougars, they're coming into the Cougar Holiday Classic on a win, a couple-game winning streak. They beat Rio Hondo and LA Pierce both here at home before the holiday break. So they've won 3 of their last 4 and 2 of their last 3, having scored 80 points or more in 3 of their 5 wins this year. Of course, their largest being the 103-83 win over Barstow way back in the opening game of the season. But the Cougars starting to play a little bit better basketball, trying to get things going as they continue into the new year. These will be the final 2 games for COC today and tomorrow before conference, or actually one more game actually, so 2 of the final 3 games before conference play starts on January 10th against LA Valley College. For the Cougars, their last outing against LA Pierce was an interesting one, to say the least. They played very good defensively, only gave up 45 points, but they only scored 60 on the offensive side. They won the game without a single player in double figures. JT Barnett, Roz Orbach, Isaiah Ortega, and Jonah Alfara, all starters, finished with 8 points. Mason Savory added 8 of his own off the bench as 9 different Cougars scored in the ball game. The 45 points allowed last Wednesday was the lowest since January 31st, 2022, when the Cougars only gave up 48 to LA Valley. So the first time the Cougars have allowed under 50 points in a game for Howard Fisher's squad as they come in 5-6. On the other side, LA Trade Tech having a good start to the year. The Beavers 7-3 for Sherwin-Morgan. They come in on a 3-game winning streak and have won 5 of their last 6, dating back to November 21st as we are underway. Opening tip controlled by College of the Canyons after it was tipped back by Devin Jane-Lett for LA Trade Tech. For the Cougars, Jacob Gonzalez, Joshua Barnett, Roz Orbach, Logan Gomari, and Jonah Alfara, the starters for COC in their yellow uniforms. Moving to our left here in the first half as Barnett puts up a 3. No. Gomari, the offensive rip, and the Cougars will reset back out to Orbach. 3-pointer from the wing, rattles in and out. Another rebound, this time to Gonzalez, and he puts it home. So Jacob Gonzalez has his first bucket and the first 2 points of the ball game. On the other side for LA Trade Tech, Romero Hutchinson, Devin Jane-Lett, Joshua Abrams, Omari Ferguson, and Yanev Silvera getting the starters. A 3-pointer from Jane-Lett is good. Jane-Lett this year a 50% 3-point shooter, only 1 of 2 from 3 coming into today's game, but he knocks that one down. He's only played in 2 games this year, averaging 8.5 points per game. His season high so far has been 9 as he knocks that one down to give LA Trade Tech a 3-2 lead here early on. Here's Gomari for the Cougars. Canyons without Mason Savory today as he's on the bench in street clothes. 5 to shoot here is Barnett. A drive, a floater, no. Rebound pulled down by Abrams. And Trade Tech will go back the other way. Abrams then looking at the official asking for a foul off the rebound. Didn't get it. Abrams dribbled to his left. He kicked it out. A 3 on the way from Ferguson is good. Ferguson, a 42% 3-point shooter, 9 of 12, and it's a 6-2 run to open up. For Trade Tech this year, 3-point shooting has really kind of been their go-to. They shoot 35.9% from 3. That's 20th best in California this year. So the Cougars will have to keep up on that end, and they've done a really good job defending the 3 as well for Trade Tech. They've only given up 26.7% of their 3-point shots allowed, which is best in the state of California so far this year. So Trade Tech certainly somebody to compete with on the 3-point side. They average 23.7 3-pointers a game, and they make 8.5, which is 18th and 20, or 26th and 18th respectively. So certainly the 3-point game going to be something to keep an eye on for COC. As Alfara at the line for the first time today, misses the first. Alfara this season as a foul shooter has struggled as he did last year, but has looked better at times. The shot looks much cleaner. He's a 52% foul shooter, 28 of 53 coming in. He splits the pair. It's back to 1-possession game here early on, just underway from Lee Smelser Court at the Cougar Cage. College of the Canyons and LA Trade Tech College game 1 of the 2023 Cougar Holiday Classic here on December 28th. Hope you all had a wonderful Christmas break. Have enjoyed Kwanzaa so far. If you celebrate that, enjoyed your Hanukkah if you did as well. Is Morgan going to call a timeout after a three-pointer from Logan Gomari? Our first time out on the floor, a 6-6 ball game. 17:41 to go here in the first half. Canyons and LA Trade Tech tied at 6. The legend in the building, Lee Smelser, just behind the COC bench there. As you see a white shirt and the man right next to him is Lee Smelser. The white shirt, of course, is Chad Peters, our athletic director, as we go back to work here in the first half at a 6-6 ball game. Of course, if you're not aware, Lee Smelser Court, aptly named here. Smelser, the first head coach in College of the Canyons men's basketball history, and a history that dates all the way back to 1969 when the Cougars first had their program established, as Alfara misses on a jumper. 6-all here, just about 3 minutes gone in the first half. Of course, the Cougars head coach Howard Fisher, once an assistant coach under Lee Smelser. Talks very highly of Lee when you get a chance to talk to him. That's going to be a double dribble, or it's going to be a jump ball tie-up and possession arrow in favor of Trade Tech. I thought they were going to call a double dribble against Omari Ferguson as he went up to shoot, but then they say he had the ball tied up, and that was why he was allowed to put the ball back on the floor. There's Trade Tech back to work offensively. They'll swing it around with 6 to shoot. Hutcherson will step into a 3, too strong. Long rebound came to Silvera. He got Gomari in the air, put up a shot that didn't go, and the rebound pulled down by Barnett. Canyons this year, expect them today to be good on the glass, as they've been very good all year on the glass this season. We already saw it on their first possession that resulted in a bucket, a couple of offensive rebounds. We expect nothing but the same here today, as the Cougars average 41.3 rebounds per game, which is 15th most in California. 13.5 of those come on the offensive glass. 5 to shoot for Orbach. He gets it to Alfara at the foul line, no good. Rebound pulled down by Abrams, and back the other way comes LA Trade Tech. Alfara usually very solid from the floor, but doesn't shoot a lot from outside a 5-foot radius near the basket. It's a 56% shooter from the floor this year, but has struggled the last couple of times out. Struggled the other day against L.A. Pierce. So far 0 for 2 from the floor, but it's a 6-6 ball game. 4 minutes gone here in the first half. Gonzalez will walk it up the floors. The Cougars starters and the Trade Tech starters stay on the floor here early on. Barnett will put it on the floor, dribbling to his left. Tried to swing it down low, and it was just too hot for Alfara to handle. Romero Hutchinson bringing the ball up the floor. Hutchinson this year averaging 14.3 points in just about 10.5 minutes, 11 minutes per game. Hasn't had a lot of time on the floor, but has had some good outputs here and there. There's that ball knocked out of play, so it'll stay with Trade Tech. Abrams will bring it into play. Hutchinson will catch as he's running the point here for the Beavers. We'll set it up top. Silvera, a 3, drains it. Pure shot from Silvera that time. The 44% three-point shooter who leads Trade Tech. 12th 3 of the year for him. And all 3 so far for Trade Tech as they lead 9-6. Barnett tried to force that one inside, and it was stolen. And then a foul on the floor before Ferguson could go up to the basket. So it'll be the second foul on Canyons. It'll be the second foul on JT Barnett here early on. And that's going to get Deshaun Harold up off the bench to take over for Barnett, who's got 2 quick fouls not even 5 minutes in. So we'll see Harold into the game. Canyon's small here. Silvera, a corner three that missed off the front. Gonzalez, the rebound, tries to sprint it ahead on a fast break and draws a foul as swatting the ball away, but getting a bit of the arm that time was Jane Lett, sophomore out of Rock Top Academy. It's going to be his second foul as well, so I would expect Jane Lett to go to the bench as Ronnie Davis gets up. Gonzalez, a 71% free throw shooter this year. Canyons has been decent from the line this season. They average 23.3 foul shots per game, which is 19th. They make about 15.8, but they only shoot 68% from the line. That's right about middle or lower in the pack. And not a surprise to see a lot of fouls in Canyons games this season. When you look down the numbers this year, the Cougars games have been some of the most penalized in the state of California this season. Only really Mount Sac is one of the few teams that has more penalties per game both for and against opponents than College of the Canyons. The Cougars this year in their games average 18.8 personal fouls per game, which is 22nd most in the 3C2A, and 21.9 drawn, which is 4th most. So for whatever reason, Cougar games seem to be very penalized as Gomari stepped on the end line in a 1-point game. Gonzalez had made both. He's got 4 points here. Orbach going to come off. Andrew Ezenwa coming in for the first time today. Jonathan Fields checking in as well for Trade Tech. So here's Hutcherson bringing it up the floor. We'll send it over to Fields. Fields will dump it off. Abrams got bumped into and got it to Hutcherson. Back to Abrams, top of the three-point line. Dribbles to his right a little bit, dropped it off. Davis fell down, but got the ball back. There's Silvera looking for room to work with 9 to shoot. A long three on the way that rattles in and out from Hutcherson. Rebound pulled down by Gomari, and the Cougars will take their time working back the other way. Gonzalez. Foul line for Ezenwa. Jumper is good. Andrew Ezenwa, who only averages 2.7 a game, has his first bucket. And the Canyons have their second, or the Canyons Cougars have their second lead at 10-9 and a timeout on the floor. 13:53 to go here in the first. 10-9 in favor of College of the Canyons. At College of the Canyons, we're always here to help make your future remarkable. Choosing classes is always flexible, so you can study your way. Learn at one of our 2 state-of-the-art campuses, or from home with our online options. Tuition is always affordable, with classes starting at just $46 per unit. We offer financial aid and 0 textbook cost classes to help you save. Always flexible, affordable, remarkable, always College of the Canyons. Visit canyons.edu/schedule now. 13:53 to go here in the first half. LA Trade Tech using their second timeout of the game. Just a few moments ago as the Beavers want to talk things over just a touch here. We go back to work in a 10-9 Canyons lead. Right out of the timeout, the Cougars get a takeaway. Gomari, a 3 that's short. Fast break back the other way, and Hutcherson an easy lay-in for Trade Tech as they regain an 11-10 lead. Cougars turn it over that time as they throw it out of play. Jeremiah Walker checking in for the first time today for College of the Canyons. (11-10) in favor of Trade Tech. There's Fields inside. Davis tried to put it off the glass but couldn't get it to fall as he was challenged by a couple of Cougars. Harold the other way for COC. Nice little fake, drives to the rack and lays it in. Deshaun Harold gets his first bucket of the ball game. Harold not often used, just his 4th basket of the season, and surpasses what his season average is of 1.4. Back the other way, Fields misses. Canyons had it but lost it. Then a block by Walker, but a late whistle for a foul. It's going to be the first foul on Jeremiah Walker. Fields this year 72% foul shooter. It's 12 all now here from Lee Smelser Court. Back the other way is Zenoir. A good fast break. Walker with the assist as Canyons back in front by 2. Low event first half so far, just about halfway through it. As Zenoir with 4 now. There's Hutcherson back the other way. He kicks it over to Davis on the far side, then he's fouled by Gonzalez, just kind of running into him. Substitutions, Jabril Jackson checking in. Zenoir knocks that one away. Got it to Gonzalez over Harold. Corner 3 is good. Deshaun Harold with 5 now in the ball game to lead the way for COC off the bench and the Cougars with a 5-point advantage. Good challenge that time defensively by COC. Elfara the rebound. Harold, a heat check, knocks it down again. Harold surpassing his season high of 6 with back-to-back threes. He's got 8, and the lead is 8. Walker fell down. Fields a foul line jumper, no. Elfara another rebound. Outlets to Walker. Near side, Gonzalez driving and draws the foul. He'll go to the line. Good work by Canyons here midway through the first half. Thanks in part to Deshaun Harold with 8 points so far. Back-to-back threes for him and Gonzalez, who's 2 of 2 from the line, who has 4 points so far today, goes back to the line for his 2nd trip. Canyons already out-rebounding Trade Tech 14-6. The Beavers gonna bring in 3 fresh bodies. Gonzalez makes the first of 2. Jane Lett checking back in. We'll see Jerome Smith for the first time today. Omari Ferguson on the court as well. Gonzalez rattles both home. So Canyon's back now with a 10-point lead, largest lead of the afternoon for either side. Cougars came out in a full court press. They nearly got a takeaway. Walker altered enough of a shot from Ferguson by trying to swat it out from behind that Ferguson missed, and the Cougars back the other way. Here's Harold, waiting for Walker to come over to him. Now Harold will just dribble the basketball. Harold in unfamiliar territory, not really a ball handler for COC. Wanted to dump it off inside, and that's why you see him turn it over that time. Was just a little disconnected on the screen and roll with Alfara. Offensive foul called, a moving screen that time. That's the third foul on Jane Lett. And remember, Jane Lett's a guy that averaged 12.9 per last year, was certainly thought to be a key for LA Trade Tech, but has only played in 3 games now. That is including today, and now he's already got 3 fouls. And then is Zenwa going to be called for an offensive foul underneath the basket? From Trade Tech, no good, as the Beavers have fallen off on the offensive side a little bit. As Zenwa looked like he had a fast break. He's under the basket though, and he's fouled, so he'll go for a 3-point play here. As a Zenwa contributing, he's got 6 now. Lead 12 for Canyons. Trade Tech 3 of 9 from 3. Just 4 of 17 from the floor. As a Zenwa, who's a 78% foul shooter, goes to the line. Misses on the foul shot as it rattles around. So lead is 12 here for Canyons. Smith to work for Trade Tech. Will send it far side to Ferguson. Tries to get around Gonzalez. And then Ferguson going to be called for... No, it's actually going to be on Gonzalez, his second. Gomari checks in, Gonzalez coming out. 6 fouls on Canyons, 5 on Trade Tech, so the next Cougar foul will put the Beavers at the line. Here's Smith. 7, kicks it to Ferguson, tries to drive, 2 big steps in the lane, missed on a wild left-handed shot. A rebound from Alfara. Got it to Walker, who will take his time, bringing it back up the floor. 12-point Canyons lead here. 24-12. Walker guarded tightly by Josiah Johnson. Canyons will work it back around to Walker on the near side, who's bumped by Johnson, and Walker draws the foul. Gomari catches on the inbound. Harold, who thought about it, he's already 2 for 2 on the day. Now the Cougars will work it to Alfara. Block extended near side, dumps it underneath the Zenwa. Beautiful vision from Alfara. Not known for his passing prowess, just 1.5 assists per game. But he gets his Zenwa to 8. The Cougars now have a 14-point lead on another miss. Canyons back the other way as Trade Tech struggling from the floor here in the first half now. Walker looks back as the Cougars set up a play here. Walker moves to his left. Inside Alfara. Alfara backing his man down. Put one up and missed. Put up the second one and puts it home. Missed on his first, got his second, his first bucket of the day. He's got 3 now. The lead 28-12 as Harold called for a foul. Put Davis at the line, a 73% free throw shooter, shooting 1 and 1. Davis misses. Elfara, an easy rip. Already a 7th rebound of the ball game for Elfara. Continues to be one of the best rebounders in the state. We'll talk about it more as we continue on. Elfara foul line this time. Spins from the elbow. Puts up a deep right-handed lay that didn't fall. Back the other way on a fast break. That breaks a run from COC as a lay-in from Ronnie Davis. Cuts the lead back to 14. To that point, the Cougars had held Trade Tech off the clock for about 5 minutes. Gomari misses both, had one blocked. Walker able to come away with it, got it to Gomari. He's gonna drive, put up one that doesn't fall. Ball tied up under the basket, and the arrow with College of the Canyons here. So that bucket from Trade Tech at 7:20 from Ronnie Davis was their first since 11:58 when Jonathan Fields made a foul shot to tie it at 11. It's their first field goal since the 13:04 mark. So almost 6 minutes of play without a bucket without a field goal, we should say, for Trade Tech. Is Harold a 3? Might as well. He's 2 for 2. Missed on that one, though. Canyons went on a little 16-0 run, and that's what stretched the lead out 28-14. 3 on the way from Fields. No. Gomari able to get the rebound. His good box out that time from a Zenwa to make sure it was an easy one for Gomari. And the Cougars back to work offensively. Walker will catch just outside the center circle. Gets it to Harold. Now a Zenwa elbow near side. He'll face up for a jumper that's short. Rebound pulled down by Abrams as he was able to box out Orbach, and back the other way comes Trade Tech. Brown at the foul line, pops a jumper, it's good. And a timeout called by Howard Fisher. That's a 4-0 run for the Beavers with 16:05 to go. A full timeout, 28-16, Canyons out in front.
I can't get enough of watching Jersey Mike's freshly grilled hot subs right in front of me. In fact, I like watching nice and close. Oh, yeah.
The eyes just moved.
It's just the steam from the grill. You're seeing things.
Look at that sizzle.
Did you hear that?
Relax, it's just the grill.
Yeah, it's just the grill. Woo! Grilled right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
And all 17 Cougar athletics teams, including schedule, rosters, staff, league photos, and live stream links for home page.
6:01 to go, 28-26.
Athletics homepage at www.cstathletics.com.
Foul called on Trade Tech, called against Jaden Brown. Elfara going to come in and take over for Harold. It's going to send Canyons to the line for a 1-and-1 here. So Orbach will go to the line. Orbach, 81% foul shooter this year. Orbach makes the first of 2. Sherwin Morgan pretty upset with the officiating after that last foul. Up off the bench, long discussion with the official on the far side of the floor. Finally sits himself back down. Orbach makes both. Canyons back out in front by 14. Jumper no good that time from Fields. Elfara give him 8 rebounds now in the ball game as he pulls that one down. Canyons turns it over though. Walker had it taken away. Smith on a breakaway, an easy lay-in. Smith his first bucket of the ball game. Howard Fisher upset with the officiating, wanted a foul, wanted a reach on Smith. Canyons nearly turned it over as Zenwa, good play to save a wild pass. And Canyons will get on the offensive side here. Gomari after Canyons turns it over. Walker gonna come out, Gonzalez coming back in. Long drive that time from Brown that doesn't fall. And Trade Tech couldn't control the rebound as it's out and it'll be Canyons basketball. 4:27 to go here in the first half. 30-18, a 12-point Canyons lead as the Beavers out in a full court press here. Orbach fouled. It took a while for Smith to be called for the foul that time, and it certainly looked like he got a lot of hands on Orbach a couple of times there. Orbach 2 of 2 from the line today. It's only 2 points coming from the line. Harold and Ezenwa each with 8. Orbach makes the first of 2. For Trade Tech, as we said, it's been a tough shooting night so far, shooting afternoon so far. 7 of 25, 3 of 10 from 3. Ferguson, Jane Lett, and Silvero with 3 points. Then Hutcherson, Brown, Davis, and Smith all with 2. And Fields with 1. So Orbach makes both, lead back to 14. Here's Smith pointing out directions. We'll send it over to Brown. Brown wanting to drive, instead will drop to Hutcherson. He'll put up a deep 3 that's short. Gomari the defensive rebound. This will drop for Gonzalez as the Cougars will try and go back to work offensively here. Gonzalez is Zenwa. Over to Orbach, wing 3 on the way. Flat, Elfara the rebound and putback is there. Elfara now with 5, give him 5. As Canyons back out in front by 16 here. It's been their largest lead of the day, has been 16. So they get another stop. Orbach, Gomari. Elfara was calling for it and said it's Zenwa. Still trying to get it inside to Elfara, who gets himself loose around Fields and gets it in. Back-to-back buckets for Jonah Elfara. And Canyons now with a an 18-point advantage, 36-18. Offensive foul and illegal pick on Jaden Brown. It's going to be the second foul on Brown. See Abrams and Silvera check back in. Walker back in along with Deshaun Harold as Zenwa and Gomari come off. For Trade Tech this year, as then Fields gonna be, or Smith gonna be called for a foul on the inbound play. So Gonzalez gonna go back to the line here. We're gonna talk about Trade Tech. It's not as though they haven't played anybody this year. They've had some decent wins. They beat Modesto, they beat Alameda. They beat Oxnard this season. They took out Palomar, dropped Grossmont, Pierce, and Barstow. A couple of common opponents there. They did lose 93-55 to 7th-ranked San Diego City. They also lost 92-68 against Chaffee, another common opponent between these two teams. As if you remember, the Cougars lost to Chaffee 77-62 here at home back on the 18th of November. And I believe there's going to be a warning on Sherwin Morgan here. 37-18. That was 10. The foul on Fields was, or Smith, excuse me, was the 10th foul on Trade Tech. So it puts the Canyons in the plus for the rest of the first half here. 19-point lead. Not sure what the warning was on Morgan. It wasn't a technical. Fields gets himself to the line. There's a foul going to be called against Canyons. It's going to go against Jonah Elfara. Going to be his first of the night. So Fields to the line to shoot a pair. One of two from the line so far today as he knocks down the first. Fields had a double-double against Alameda. 10 points, 14 rebounds, 4 assists, 5 steals. As he makes both, cuts the lead back to 17. As Walker got bumped by Smith, was able to get it over to Elfara. Now Walker far wing. Elfara far block. Squares up against Abrams, takes him a little off the dribble, but missed. As Zenwa able to fight and pull down the rebound and ship it up top to Harold. Elfara again inside, and he draws the foul. Tough shooting night so far for Jonah. 3 of 8 from the floor, well below his season average. It's the team leader at 56%, but he gets himself to the line once again. Elfara this year has been so good on the glass. We've talked a lot about him throughout the season. Already 9 rebounds in the ballgame today. He averages 10.9, which is right now, when you look at it, 5th best in California. He's got 120 total rebounds, which is 15th best in the state. 88 of those coming on the defensive glass. He's so tough inside. Certainly a kid we can see play at the 4-year level next year. Is this his sophomore season? He makes the first, misses the second. Harold tips the rebound out of play. 18-point lead here. Elfara 36th in the state in field goal percentage, although that 56% coming down just a bit today as he's just 3 of 8 from the floor. He's got 8 points as Harold, Elfara, and Azenwa all with 8. 38-20, a minute 44 to go here in the first half. Good shot that time from Jaden Brown. Brown now with 4 points. He matches his season average. Cut the lead back to 16. Walker looking for Harold. Now Elfara, well out from the block, about 15 feet. Now will try and drive against Abrams and draws the foul. Elfara just kind of using his body to create some space. Sherwin Morgan wanted an arm bar, and he has an argument for it on that play, as Elfara did have his right arm up in the air, but I think they say Abrams grabbed on a little bit or was just too tight in the cylinder, and that's what sends Elfara back to the line for a pair of foul shots. Elfara bounces the first one home. Point away from another 10-point game for him. A rebound away from another double-double. Misses the second badly, but Azenwa got the rebound but threw it away, trying to bank it off of a Beaver, but they had all moved away from the baseline. So Trade Tech back to work offensively. Silvera Sends it well up top to Brown. Brown trying to drive against Walker. Now sends corner Silvera, 3, short, air ball. Lands in the lap of Alfara. And with less than a minute to go, the Cougars will bring the ball back up the floor, leading 39-22. Walker, bounce pass Alfara, finishes with 2 hands. Beautifully set up from COC. 41-22, the lead is 19. Foul is Zenwa on the floor. Alfara with a double-double, 11 points and 10 rebounds, his 5th of the season, did it in the first half. He's averaged 10 and 4, or he's scored 10 and 4, 10 points and 4 rebounds in 9 games so far this year. He's had 3 games with 17 rebounds. He's already on track for that. As the first no good from Fields. A reset here as Fields will go back to the line. This time it'll be for 2 shots. Foul going to be against Orbach. There's some confusion on that one from COC as they thought it was a 1-and-1. Or they thought it was 2 shots. This time it is 2 shots, and Fields makes the first. You know, that's something that Howard Fisher not going to be happy with, is the Cougars have been so good on the defensive glass this year. As we said, just on the glass in general. Doubling up Trade Tech 30-12 right now in rebounds. That's the difference so far in the ball game as Fields makes both. 41-24, 30 seconds to go. A 3-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Maybe about a 2.5-second difference. So Canyons can certainly play for the final shot here. Walker. Over to Gomari near side. Gomari inside Alfara, who's fouled by Abrams underneath the basket. Gomari able to see that Alfara was loose behind, made a nice little feather pass, and Abrams had no choice but to tie him up. It's the 3rd foul on Abrams. 13th foul on Trade Tech, maybe actually the 14th. We'll wait and see. That might tick ahead on our stat sheet as Alfara misses the first of 2. 3 of 7 from the line today. Abrams checking out with his 3rd foul. Josiah Johnson checking back in. Shot clock off with 10.4. Alfara bounces the 2nd home, so make him 4 of 8, 50% from the line. Give him 12 points on the day. Walker tips that pass. He'll get it over Silvera, a late 3, misses long. And that's the end of the first, and Howard Fisher hot wanting a foul. And he's gonna get called for a technical foul here at the end for coming down. So we are not at the end of the first half, 42-24. Harold got jumped over the top of on the back side by Jonathan Fields. So that will send us to the locker room. 42-24, Canyons out in front. We'll take a break here from Lee Smells recorded the Cougar Gauge. First game of 2 here in the 2023 Cougar Holiday Classic.
College of the Canyons is always ready when it comes to your athletic future. With 17 intercollegiate sports programs to cheer for, opportunities for student athletes to learn, train, and compete, and a championship mindset that has produced state and national titles, College of the Canyons and the Cougars athletics programs offer a great college experience. Take control of your athletic future at College of the Canyons. Visit canyons.edu/schedule and cocathletics.com now.
At Jersey Mike's, watching them freshly slice your sub is the coolest thing you'll see. And the second coolest thing you'll see is this.
Woo! Here we go. Twirl. Up, big, two. Hand down. One hand. Up. No. Flip.
I could eat.
Sliced right in front of you. The Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
Meet Nigel Terry. In 2018, UCLA Health made him Laker for a day. Not because he beat cancer once, he beat cancer twice. He inspired us to push, to make the impossible possible. Because that's what Nigels do. And the world needs more Nigels. UCLA Health.
At College of the Canyons, we're always here to help make your future remarkable. Choosing classes is always flexible, so you can study your way. Learn at one of our 2 state-of-the-art campuses, or from home with our online options. Tuition is always affordable, with classes starting at just $46 per unit. We offer financial aid and 0 textbook cost classes to help you save. Always flexible, affordable, remarkable. Always College of the Canyons. Visit canyons.edu/schedule now.
Our sports medicine program here at College of the Canyons is meant to introduce students who are interested in some type of career in sports medicine. Most of my students are interested in careers as an athletic trainer, physical therapist, or orthopedic surgeon. So when they're done with our program, they will have their Associates of Science. Do you love sports? And do you take satisfaction from seeing someone go from injury all the way back to the sport that they love? Then this is a program you should definitely consider.
At Jersey Mike's, they freshly slice your sub right in front of you.
which takes some training.
Rising up, bread's on the sheet. Did my time, took out my toppings. Went the distance, now my prep is complete. Just a limb and its will to thrive. It's the arm of the slicer, it's the thrill of the slice. Freshly sliced before your eyes, unlike our rivals. And then every last arriver gets a sub that excites. And it's all thanks to the well-trained arm of the slicer.
Sliced right in front of you. The Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
College of the Canyons is always ready when it comes to your athletic future. With 17 intercollegiate sports programs to cheer for, opportunities for student athletes to learn, train, and compete, and a championship mindset that has produced state and national titles, College of the Canyons and the Cougars athletics programs offer a great college experience. Take control of your athletic future at College of the Canyons. Visit canyons.edu/schedule and cocathletics.com now.
At Jersey Mike's, watching them freshly slice your sub is the coolest thing you'll see. And the second coolest thing you'll see is this.
Woo! Here we go. Twirl. Up, dip, two. Hand down. One hand, up. No. Flip. I could eat. Sliced right in front of you. The Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
Meet Nigel Terry. In 2018, UCLA Health made him Laker for a day. Not because he beat cancer once, he beat cancer twice. He inspired us to push, to make the impossible possible. Because that's what Nigels do. And the world needs more Nigels. UCLA Health.
Welcome back into the Cougar Sports Network as we get ready for second half action. We'll have a technical foul shot before. Hutcherson will shoot 2 technical fouls here. So Cougars a 42-24 advantage at the break. But that lead can be cut down just a little bit. It's a 16-point advantage for College of the Canyons, and the possession arrow in favor of Trade Tech. So the Beavers will start. Look at the first half numbers: 13 of 30 for College of the Canyons, 3 of 9 from 3, 13 of 19 from the floor, 30 total rebounds, 20 of them on the defensive glass, 8 assists, and 2 steals. For LA Trade Tech, 8 of 30 from the floor, 3 of 13 from 3. 5 of 8 from three-point land, 12 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, and 13 fouls. The Beavers get another bucket here, so all of a sudden that 18-point lead, it's a 4-point swing after the technical foul to end the half. Make it a 14-point advantage for Canyons as we go to work here on the offensive side for the first time for COC. Barnett back into the game. Picked up 2 quick fouls in the first half, and didn't really play much. Only 5 minutes for Barnett. Didn't have any points in those 5 minutes. That's his first bucket of the ball game. Early shot clock chance no good, and then a three from Jane Lett. That's an air ball on the backside, picked up by Barnett. And Barnett trying to go to work here. Orbach, wing three, flat, no good. Rebound pulled down by Silvera. His outlet to Hutcherson will work back the other way. Throws it underneath. Jane Lett bumped by Orbach, able to bump Orbach off of him and lay it in. Jane Lett now with 5 points. Still a 14-point advantage for College of the Canyons. This is where the Cougars have struggled at times this year. They stretch leads out and then kind of take their foot off the gas a little bit, as you see a turnover that time from Orbach. So he tried to work it inside to Alfara. That's been a bit of a struggle for College of the Canyons this year, is that ability to close games out, put teams away. So we've seen him stretch leads out a number of times this year. Ferguson drops it, Jane Lett. Now Hutcherson near side, dribbles around Gonzalez. Got himself up to the basket and in. That was a beautiful move from Hutcherson. Good body control in the air. He's now got 6. As the lead all of a sudden back down to 12, it was 18. Barnett misses. Orbach couldn't pull down the rebound, but it bounces into the hands of Alfara. Gomari now on the far wing. Orbach trying to get loose inside, could not. He and Alfara switch places. Canyons around the perimeter here. Barnett, wing three, no good. Barnett gets hot, he can certainly knock him down. A couple of times this season he's had 5 threes in a game. Offensive foul call, or countered and the foul, bucket and the foul, excuse me, for Trade Tech, as Ferguson gets the bucket. Foul was on Barnett, his 3rd. And Harold coming back in. Ferguson with 7, a chance to get to 8. It's a 10-point lead, a chance to cut it to 9. And again, like we said, this has been kind of the story for Canyons this year. 12th rebound for Alfara that time. Stretch out big leads and then fail to put the opponent away, let them back into the ball game, as they've done here in a 10-point game now. Harold driving, got to the basket, missed on a lay-in. Good tip by Orbach to find Alfara. Now Harold, far side 3, no good. Canyons ice cold to start here in the second half. 8-0 run, including the technical foul shots for Trade Tech. Make it an 11-0 run as a step-back 3 from Hutcherson. He's got 9 now. Hutcherson, a 34% three-point shooter. And Trade Tech starting to find their footing on the offensive side. As Gonzalez draws a foul. It's going to go against Ferguson. It'll be his first. Gonzalez to the line for a pair of shots. Or no, it'll be an end-line inbound. It'll be on the floor as the foul. Jane Lett coming out. Fields coming back in. Jane Lett's running right out of the gym, so he must have to go to the restroom, is the only thing I can imagine on that one. Harold, far side. Got it to Gomari. His pass intercepted. Telegraphed it. Hutcherson took it away. Missed, though, on the breakaway layup, but putting it in on the rebound is Ferguson. And Howard Fisher calling a timeout as it's all of a sudden a 5-point game. 16:22 to go here in the second half. Trade Tech on a 13-0 run to open up. It'll just be a 30-second timeout for COC. Sorry, it's a 15-2 run. As we redo calculations here. All of a sudden, a 5-point game in what was an 18-point halftime Canyons lead. Elfara catches outside, drops it off to Gonzalez. Now Elfara at the foul line, working against Abrams, and he's able to force him down and put it in. Gomari called for the foul. Ferguson to the line to shoot a pair. Ferguson now double figures with 10 points. 10th time this year Ferguson has been in double figures, and a double-double against Barstow, 12 points, 10 rebounds. 7th straight game for him with 10 or more points. He makes both. So Ferguson carrying the load. Guy that averages 16 points a game, just a little over 11 minutes. And Ferguson called for a foul on the other end, his second. So Ferguson starting to get loose. Harold thought about it, now gets to the foul line, dumps it back Orbach, now to Elfara, block extended near side, trying to work against Abrams. Draws the foul as he goes into the air. And Abrams does not like the foul call. Joshua Abrams today has picked up 4 fouls, and all of them really coming against Jonah Elfara. As Jane Lett will come back in. Elfara going back to the line for a pair of foul shots here. Jonah today from the line, 4 of 8, 14 points, 12 rebounds today for Jonah. He misses with the left hand on the first. Jane Lett back in, Abrams back off. Elfara stays 50%, splits the pair, stretches the lead to 6. 3-pointer on the way on the other side, no good. Gomari couldn't get the rebound. Ferguson tried to save it. Canyons outlet off of a Cougar and out of play. No, and yeah. I was gonna say, that looked like it went off of a Beaver, and the far official overrules the near side guy, said I had the better angle running ahead of the play. That might have made Howard Fisher boil over again had that been pushed in the way of LA Trade Tech. Instead, we'll go back to work with a 6-point Canyons lead. Gomari guarded tightly by Fields, trying to drive against him. Had the ball tipped out of his hand, so it'll stay with COC with 10 on the shot clock. Barnett, and we'll see Isaiah Baptista for the first time today. Baptista did not check in at all in the first half. Harold and Gomari coming off the floor. Barnett, far side, 9 to shoot, gonna be called for a travel on a stutter step. Orbach checking off as Enwa back in. Hutcherson now with the basketball for Trade Tech, trying to drive baseline. Got it over the top of Gonzalez and rattled it in. It looks like Orbach going right back onto the floor. Zenwa into a three. Short. Barnett tipped the rebound off the glass to Alfara. Canyons gets a bucket back on the other side. Back to a 6-point advantage. Not sure it was an intended tip from Barnett, but it worked. As Alfara wide open, the only man there. Jamelette sends it far side. Hutcherson, no, excuse me, Ferguson called for a travel. Orbach taking Ezenwa off. Gonzalez drives around a defender, stops up, pops a little 15-footer that's good. Gonzalez now with 9 points on the day. 3 on the other side, Silvera, no. Breakaway the other way, Baptista missed, a little out of control. Now we're just running back up and down the floor as an easy bucket for Hutcherson. Hutcherson now with 13. Lead back down to 6. Silvera's had a tough night, 1 for 8 from the floor, 1 for 7 from 3. He is a guy that shoots 44% from 3. Foul called against Silvera, going to be just his first foul. Jackson back into the game. It's Hutcherson off. Canyons back to work offensively. Foul under the basket, away from the ball, called against Amari Ferguson. It's going to be his 3rd. Silvera off. Ronnie Davis in. Lead was 18, now it's 6. And then a foul out high, this time called against Jonathan Fields. Already the 6th foul on Trade Tech here with 13:13 to go in the second half. So the next foul puts the Cougars at the line for 1-and-1. Barnett trying to drive baseline, and he's pushed from behind by Davis. And so Barnett will go to the line, and now Canyons in the bonus for the rest of the game. Barnett, 59% foul shooter, 16 of 27 on the year, makes the first. 3rd point for Barnett today, makes the 2nd, so he knocks them both down. He's got himself 4 points now, and Canyons back up to an 8-point lead. Davis, bumped by Alfara and gets himself to the line. I think Jonah might have taken one in the groin, taken a knee maybe in the middle of his thigh. He's walking it off, but I think he's going to go to the bench. And so is Zenwa going to come in? Alfara going to get a break here. Davis makes the first. Second is good as well. Timeout on the floor. 12:58 to go here in the second half. Full timeout. We'll take the break as well.
Meet Nigel Terry. In 2018, UCLA Health made him Laker for a day. Not because he beat cancer once, he beat cancer twice. He inspired us to push, to make the impossible possible. Because that's what Nigels do. And the world needs more Nigels. UCLA Health.
And excitement of the 2023-24 season. Follow at CLC Men's B-Ball and at CLC Athletics today.
Back to work inside the Cougar cage, 53-47. College of the Canyons leading LA Trade Tech here in game number 1 of 2 today in the 2023 Cougar Holiday Classic. Have a triple header tomorrow here for you on the network. The conclusion of the Cougar Holiday Classic, 1 and 3 o'clock games. 1 o'clock the consolation game, 3 o'clock the championship game, followed by some women's basketball, 5 p.m. Palomar, who was the number 2 team in the state pretty much all last year, ranked in the top 25 again this season, coming to town to take on College of the Canyons. It's Ferguson a miss. Orbach the rebound, runs it out the other way, kicks it to Barnett. Wing 3, no. Zenwa pops the rebound out to Baptista. Back inside, Zenwa fouled, and he'll go to the line. Goes against Fields. Gonna be his 3rd. Is Zenwa back to the line for his 2nd trip today. Misses the 1st. Second doesn't go as well, so keep it 53-47. 6-point lead here. Janelette a 3 that doesn't fall. Offensive rebound that time for Jackson. Got it over to Fields, who missed. Canyons able to keep it in play. Baptista catches, but then threw it behind Orbach, and the Cougars just a little sloppy, trying to work it back up the floor. Janelette missed, and then that ball goes off of Janelette out of play. It'll be Canyons basketball. Walker and Alfara back in for Canyons here. Isaiah Ortega getting his first action of the ball game today as well, checking in. Offensive foul called against Barnett away from the basketball. It's the 4th on Barnett here. Neither team has really been able to keep things under control here in this second half. Both have been kind of in and out of rhythm at times, and it stays a 6-point game. Trade Tech had the better of it to start, cut the 18-point lead down to 6. Now they've got it down to 4. As the Cougar offense has been nothing short of stagnant here in this second half. Another turnover as Ferguson steps in the lane. Got a foul called against Walker coming back, so Ferguson will go to the line. So Ferguson to the line to shoot a pair. Ferguson so far today, 11 points, 2 of 3 from the line. Make him 3 of 4 from the line. The lead down to 3. It's a one-possession ball game here, as the Cougars have lost the plot here in the second half. Second no good. Elfire the rebound. Walker on the outlet will send it ahead. Ortega. Now Orbach. Walker after Orbach fell down. Now Ortega inside to Orbach, trying to force it. Orbach down low, off the glass and good. For Roz Orbach, he gets himself his first field goal of the ball game. Now has 6 points. Another foul. This one going to go against Jeremiah Walker from behind that time.
Jeremiah Walker. Will Jackson to the line.
Jabril Jackson to the line to shoot 2 in a 5-point game, makes the first. Jackson's first trip to the line today. Gomari coming back in. Jackson makes them both. Back to a 3-point game. Walker has it stripped by Ferguson, who finishes with the left. And it's a 1-point Canyons lead, 55-54, 10 minutes to go in the ball game. Baptista, Elfara, Gomari. Wanted to get it back inside, but it was kicked by Davis. And again, Canyons has very much lost the plot, as we'll see Walker come out, Gonzalez back in. To shoot here. Orbach, foul line jumper is good. Orbach starting to find his stroke a little bit. He's got 8 now. Elfira's led the way with 17. Ferguson with 14. Hutcherson with 13 for Trade Tech. What's a 3-point game with 10 minutes to go? Travel going to be called against Davis. Ferguson off, Hutcherson coming back in. Gonzalez with 9, Orbach, Harold, and Zenwa all with 8. Nobody close to double figures for Trade Tech, as Canyons turns it over right away. Off the inbound. 3-pointer on the other side to tie it for Davis, no good. Baptista the rebound. Canyons working back ahead. Gomari far side. Sends it out high, Orbach, who wanted to drop it to Gonzalez, but Jackson was right with him. Now Gonzalez will have it and put it on the floor. Tried to force it to Baptista. Jane Lett's length stepped in the way. And then Gonzalez blocks Jackson, who was trying to get to the basket on the other side, as Ferguson will check back in. Harold coming in to take over for Baptista. Sent down high to Fields. Working against Harold. Step back jumper from 18 is good. That's a nice shot from Fields, who's now got 7. Back to a 1-point lead. It was 18 at half. Trade Tech has controlled this second half so far. Jackson called for a foul. Elfara will go to the line. Elfara to the line for 1-1. 9th foul on Trade Tech. Elfara makes the first of 1-1. Second is right in the bottom of the bucket, so 59-56. Back to a 3-point advantage here for College of the Canyons. It's a one-possession game as Jackson will work around the perimeter for Trade Tech. Steps into a 3 over the top of Gomari that's well strong. Easy rebound for Harold, who outlets to Gonzalez, and he'll try and work ahead. Nearly had it stripped. Got it to Gomari. Gomari driving right to the basket, lays it off the glass and in. 5-point advantage. Canyons trying to stretch it back out. Here's Jane Lett. That's a 2 as he had his toe on the line. Jane Lett now with 7. Back to a 3-point Canyons advantage. Here's Gomari. 2 big steps off a high bounce, missed. Elfara, though, able to pull it down. Elfara gonna dribble it himself, goes right to the basket with the left hand around Jane Lett and lays it in. Elfara with 19 and 15 in the ball game. 7 of 12 from the floor, leads all scorers as Canyons back to a 5-point advantage. Jackson with Elfara guarding him out high. Got it to Jane Lett. Around the perimeter, Hutcherson caught it, puts up a corner 3, no. Elfara give him 16 rebounds. 4th time this year he's had 16 or more rebounds in a ball game. Approaching his season high of 17, which he's done 3 times. Gonzalez still working, trying to draw a foul. Got it to Harold. Harold with 8, got it to Gonzalez. Baseline stops. 12-footer, no. Orbach couldn't pull down the rebound as Jackson had good inside position. In a 5-point game, Hutcherson will work the point. Kicks it corner, 3-pointer, Ferguson, good. Nice shot from Ferguson that time. Back to a 2-point game. A 1-possession ball game here after the Ferguson 3. Gomari, offensive foul. Barnett and Josiah Johnson coming in. So Trade Tech back with the basketball in a 2-point game. Barnett alters the Hutcherson shot and it misses. Canyons trying to run the fast break, turns it over. Back the other way, Hutcherson ties it up. And for the first time since, as we scroll way back to the 11:58 mark, we are tied. The last lead for Trade Tech was 13:04. We were last tied at 12-12. Canyons led the rest of the way. We're tied at 63 as Harold a 3 that missed wildly. Trade Tech trying for their first lead since 13:04 in the first half. Ferguson has 17. Hutcherson with the basketball and 15 points. Drops it inside. Trade Tech out in front is Johnson with the bucket. 65-63, Trade Tech leading. They've eliminated an 18-point deficit, found themselves with a 2-point lead as Harold a corner 3 for the lead is good. Harold is third 3 of the ball game. Timeout on the floor. 4:30 to go in a 1-point game. 66-65, Canyons leading. As we'll stay right here and take a look at some of the out-of-town scores for the moment.
Timeout.
As there are no out-of-town scores. Actually, nobody gets started until after 4 o'clock. So we've got Orange Coast and Mount San Antonio College coming up at 3 o'clock, maybe a touch later than that, as it's 2:30 now. Syracuse and San Francisco playing at 4. San Diego Mesa and Cuyamaca at 4 o'clock as well. LA City and Glendale at 5. Canada and West Hills Lemoore at 5. Antelope Valley and East LA at 6. And Contra Costa and Merrimack at 7:30 are the other games on the schedule today. Harold with 11 points. His season high, 3 of 6 from 3. Give him 6 rebounds, 6 rebounds as well. Alfaro 21 and 16 in the ball game with a pair of assists. Ferguson 17 points, 2 rips, and an assist. Hutcherson 15 points and 3 assists with a steal in the ball game as Trade Tech to work with the basketball, trailing by 1, 4.5 to go here in game 1 of the Cougar Holiday Classic as Hutcherson was trying to throw it corner to Josiah Johnson, who wasn't looking at it. And that's going to get Johnson checked out of the game as Jabril Jackson comes back in. This is a Trade Tech turnover that time. Trade Tech out in a soft press. Canyon's able to break it pretty easily. So they'll set up with Gonzalez here. Alfaro dumps Orbach under the basket. Reverse layup is good. Good pass from Alfaro. His 3rd assist of the ball game. Orbach now with 10 points. He finds himself in double figures, matches his season high. 3-point lead for Canyons here. Jane Lett, a 3 to tie. It's good. Beautiful stroke from Jane Lett. His 2nd 3 of the ball game. He's got 10 now. We're even at 68 with 3.5 to go. Barnett, a 3 to match on the other side is good. And Barnett, who's been quiet today, now with 7 points. Just his 2nd field goal of the ball game, and it's 71 to 68 Canyons. Fields up top, Hutcherson, a deep 3 to tie it again, too strong. Jane Lett able to poke the rebound out. Ferguson driving baseline, around Alfaro, dumps it back out. Fields kicks over, Hutcherson, another 3 no good, and Orbach with his 4th rebound of the ball game fights out of some trouble. That's a big rebound from Orbach on the defensive side. Alfaro was asking for it as he had the mismatch against Ferguson. Gonzalez off the screen, kicks it, Orbach, 3 is good! Orbach a season high of 13. Timeout, LA Trade Tech. 74-68, Canyons out in front, and we'll take a break.
College of the Canyons is always ready when it comes to your athletic future. With 17 intercollegiate sports programs to cheer for, opportunities for student athletes to learn, train, and compete, and a championship mindset that has produced state and national titles, College of the Canyons and the Cougars athletics programs offer a great college experience. Take control of your athletic future at College of the Canyons. Visit canyons.edu/schedule and cocathletics.com now.
Canyons with a 74-68 advantage, a 6-point lead after 3s from JT Barnett and Roz Orbach, who has 13 points in the ball game, a season high for him. Season highs today for Deshaun Harold and Roz Orbach. As Canyons trying to stretch the lead back out. So it'll be Trade Tech basketball out of the timeout. Another miss from Trade Tech, but they get a finish from Ferguson after the offensive rebound. Ferguson gonna guard Gonzalez the full 94 feet here. Gonzalez able to get it across the timeline. Under 2 minutes to go. 4-point Canyons advantage, 74-70. Ferguson right on top of Gonzalez. Barnett now with Hutcherson right on him. Spins it inside, Orbach dumps it underneath, off of the hand of Jonathan Fields and out. So it'll be Canyons basketball here. Cougars with 9 on the shot clock here. They run stack for Barnett, a 3, no. Long rebound, Hutcherson, 3-on-2 the other way for Trade Tech. Hutcherson, a bounce pass to nowhere. Thought Fields was cutting. Fields had stopped up to post up for a wing 3, and the Cougars get a break off another turnover from Trade Tech. Just the 7th of the ball game, and then a foul called on Trade Tech. Canyons with 18 turnovers in the ball game. That's been why Trade Tech able to get back in it. We'll get 2 shots here for Gonzalez after the foul. Went against Jabril Jackson. Gonzalez a chance to make it a 2-possession game as the Cougars are in the plus here. Remember Orange Coast and Mount Sac coming up after this. Scheduled for a 3 o'clock start. Might be a little later than that, as Gonzalez misses the first of 2. Gonzalez to that point, 5 of 6 from the line, trying to get into double figures today. Makes the second. So 75-70, Gonzalez now with 10 points. Ferguson, a 3. Got it back to a 2-point game. That's a beautiful shot from Omari Ferguson. 22 points now for Ferguson. The season high was 26 against Alameda. 2-point game, under a minute to go. Gonzalez leaves for Barnett. Barnett ahead of steam, dumps it off Alfara. Canyons keeps it around the perimeter. Now Gonzalez, a foul line jumper. Orbach missed on the putback, but Alfara there to tip it in. He's got 23 as Howard Fisher calls a timeout. 77-73. Canyons in the lead on 2 big points from Jonah Alfara on the pushback tip. 23 and 17 for Alfara today. It's his second highest output of the season. His highest was 27 in a double-double against Rio Hondo, where he had 27 and 17. 4 Cougars in double figures today. Alfara, Orbach with 13, Harold with 11, and Gonzalez with 10. Ferguson 22, Hutcherson 15, Janelette 10. As Trade Tech shooting 26 of 64 from the floor. Not shocking to see the Beavers put up that many field goal attempts. They average 69.9 per game, which is 5th most, and they're right near the number. Just shooting 46 or 40% today, which is low below their regular number of 45. 7 of 28 from 3. Canyons 26 of 57 and 6 of 19 from the floor, shooting just a tick above their field goal percentage on the season of 44%. And 19 of 29 from the line. 49 rebounds to 26 for College of the Canyons. So for the Cougars, who out-rebound their opponents by 7.5 rebounds per game, that number significantly going up after today, as out-rebounding Trade Tech by 23 right now, and leading by 4, which is the most important thing with 42 seconds to go in the ball game. Jackson, bounce pass inside off of Janelette's foot, taken away by Barnett. Ahead, Gonzalez to finish. Goaltend called on Janelette. Gonzalez will get the bucket. 2 points for Canyons, 79-73. Gonzalez now with 12. Barnett will get credit for the assist. Hutcherson, a 3, good. Gets it back to a one-possession game with 24 seconds left. Trade Tech trying to get a stop, and they draw a foul. Good thing, too, is Alfara had an easy finish, and Barnett will go to the line for a pair of foul shots here. Ferguson picks up his fourth. Barnett a chance to make it a two-possession game with 19.1. Ferguson with 22. Hutcherson with 18 after that three. Barnett the first of two, so a two-possession game. And Sherwin Morgan going to take a timeout here to talk about things. There'll be a full timeout, 80-76, 19.1 to go. It's the first meeting between these two teams since the 2019 Cougar Holiday Classic final, where Trade Tech defeated Canyons for their second straight CHC tournament win, 76-70. Beavers have won their last four matchups against COC going back to 2017. Which was part of the Cougar Holiday Classic. 67-64 in the first round. So the Cougars trying to snap a four-game losing streak and beat Trade Tech for the first time since December 14th of 2017, when they won 82-71 in the Bill Brummel Classic. Here those two teams played twice in a month. This would be just the third win for COC since 2015 against LA Trade Tech, and their first win in Cougar Holiday Classic play. So an important foul shot coming up in a 4-point game for JT Barnett, who's got 8 points in the ball game, 2 of 9 from the floor, 3 of 3 from the line. He's only played 18 minutes, was in foul trouble in the first half. Only played 5 first half minutes. Canyons backs everybody off defensively as well. In a box on the defensive side with Walker and Gonzalez standing at the center stripe. Orbach and Alfara countering below. 5-point lead, 15 seconds to go. Canyons will give up the 2 to Jackson. And Howard Fisher going to call a timeout here. So 3-point game, 12.5. Will stay here as well. So they'll get Baptista to check in. Canyons with 2 timeouts, Trade Tech with none, so they have to run plays on the offensive side without timeouts. You got to imagine Canyons will just try and get themselves set up with a foul shooter in line, as Trade Tech will need to foul quickly to stop the clock. With 12.5 to go. 81-78 in a tight game now. Canyons led by 18 at the break. So Farah will get it into Barnett, who's fouled by Janelett. Janelett is 4th foul. And so Barnett again is just a second ticks away. Back to the line again. And this time Canyon's gonna send the full complement up to the free throw area. Omari at the table getting ready to check in. Barnett a pair of foul shots. Makes the first.
William Damari into the main for the Cougars.
Barnett makes them both. So Barnett in double figures now. 11 points in the ball game, doing most of his work from the foul line. Here's Fields, drives, lays it in. 5.3 in a 3-point game. Trade Tech gonna guard the end line. Barnett fouled coming in. It's a foul on Fields. It'll be his fourth, and Barnett will go back to the line to ice the game. 6 of his 11 coming from the line today. 1 of 2 will do it with 4.3. Canyons trying to get back to 500 on the year. Barnett misses the first. Jeanlet thought it was a 1-and-1. Got to make the second here. Second, no good. Hutcherson picks it up, throws it ahead. Ball still in play, and that'll end the ball game. Never went out of play. Trade Tech had one final chance. Just couldn't find a way to get a shot off. It was good effort, though. And for Trade Tech, they'll fall to 7-4. For Canyons, they'll improve to 6-6. The Cougars will move to the Cougar Holiday Classic final with an 83-80 victory over LA Trade Tech. Second game on the other side. When we come back, make sure you switch over streams if you're joining us for that one, as it'll be Mount San Antonio College and Orange Coast College. Thank you for joining us on this one. We hope to see you for the next.